BaconBit.
Oh, it's a fancy bacon bit, isn't it?
Yes, a snobby one.
Elitist bacon bit.
A little
Why
bit.
do we keep doing this voice?
I don't know. But hi, listener.
Hey, everyone.
Hi, listener. How's it going?
Hey.
It's me here. I'm Joel.
Hey, I'm Kent.
And Zach's not here yet.
Zach will be here soon.
He could walk in the middle of this.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of hoping for.
That's what we're hoping for.
I don't think he really cared or wanted to hear about what we have to say, which, we'll see if the audience does as well. This is something we do, I think, every other year, essentially. But we are going to talk about Sundance and the Sundance experience here on this
Sundance
Bacon
2023.
Bit. Yes, the Sundance
Be specific, because we have a ton of these.
Yeah,
We're going to do it
precisely.
for years to come.
And we have a special guest today.
We do.
Oh, hey, Emily, how's it going?
Emily's back.
Hey, it's me.
Hi, Emily.
You're like our movie buddy when we want to be snobby. Is that fair to say, Joel?
Thank you.
It's like we want to
Killing me.
we want to do the deep dive and kind of make it tedious for everyone else, but we're entertained. So.
Emily's been a friend of the show for a long time now, and we're very fortunate that she's not sick of us yet. And she gets to come in every now and then and spiel her thoughts all over the microphones.
Yes,
That's kind of a
what it
weird
is.
way to put it.
Visual auditory way of saying it. Yes.
Yes. But thank you, Emily, for being here and for joining us. So tell us about these.
Here's the
snobby
thing,
movies.
Joel. It's going to be hard to talk about because, well, the Sundance Film Festival 2023 ended about a week ago as of this airing. And wow, our brains are kind of mush.
Yes, completely.
Like I've
was a mistake.
lost the ability to speak.
But why? You do this every year.
We did a record.
I think we both overdid it.
We overdid.
You overdid it?
We
Yeah.
watched some nights like 3 movies in a row.
Oh,
like
no.
2 a.m.
Yeah, no, I'm talking 9 to
Experimental
11,
weird
11 to
stuff.
1, 1 to 3.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Like this? Okay, so...
Okay. Yeah, let's back up a
I was
little
saying,
bit.
I remember when I was a film student, and people be like, oh, you just watch movies? That's so hard. But I'm like, I remember we had to watch like 2 movies back to back, and they were like Russian and experimental. And I was like,
Yes.
at the end, I was like, my head hurts and I hate life.
It is one
So-
of these things where between movies, or if you know you're kind of getting exhausted from this, you're like, I have to do jumping jacks. I have to walk around the house or go get a soda or something because you want to give your full attention to every movie you see. And then you're like, oh, this has subtitles. Here we go.
Yeah, there
I
reached
love
a point.
subtitles.
There
Me
reached
too,
a point
but
where you couldn't.
when it's 1 a.m.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, I mean, on average, how many movies would you guys say you watch?
Hey, Zach's here.
Zach's here.
Hi.
Hey, Zach. Previous years, I think, Emily, you usually have me beat by about 5. I think I'm about 15. You're about 20 on the
well,
average year.
I think my record before this was like 25.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's a lot of movies.
It was. And I think I was better paced. I don't know how, but because we did okay.
Well, I'll tell
but-
you how. Because our first few days, we just
Yeah, that's
jam-packed the
how.
movies. And then by the end of the festival, we said, let's take a break for like a day. So our experience, I think, was generally online. Emily, I know you did a few more
I
in-person
saw
screenings
6
than I
in
did.
person. Yeah.
Okay. And was that
Wait,
generally...
up at Sundance or like in Salt Lake? Or
I saw one on opening night in Park City. It was kind of a funny thing.
was
where
Joseph Gordon-Levitt there?
No.
He got there
But
the
Amelia
next day.
Clark was.
Oh.
Yeah, so I saw her.
Mother of Dragons?
Just as delightful, she
good.
always seems. But I did that thing. So my pass gives me free waitlist privileges. And it was the premiere. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to get in. But
This is
why
like the
don't we
big
just-
hype movie.
Yeah, well, it was one of the openers of
What
the
was it?
festival.
Can you say the name of it?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Pod
it's called
Generation.
the Pod Generation.
Oh, yeah, with babies in the pods. Yeah.
Yes, I thought this was a great idea because I'd love my next pregnancy to just be,
You don't have to actually carry the baby.
Yes.
Is that what
In
you're
a
saying?
box.
Yes.
In the future,
Yes.
it's like almost like a Black Mirror thing where
Yeah.
Yeah, it
in the
was
future,
definitely more of a Black Mirror type.
children are grown in these pods rather than inside people.
Precisely.
Yeah. So the opening day of Sundance, it was one of those things where I'm like, I want to get movies in. It's so hard not to just see anything that opening day. I'm going to just try and waitlist it because my pass will get me in anything for free. And it'll, one of the things that's nice about their waitlist system is it'll tell you if you have a good chance of if you even can see the movie once you put your number in. It's
Yeah.
like a lottery kind of thing.
Okay.
So I put it in and I was like, let's just see. And it was like, you're number 9 in line. And I'm like, I guess I'm driving to Park City right now.
Which is kind of hard this time of year because it's generally snowing the week of Sundance.
Yeah.
And Park City is about 10 to 15 degrees colder than here.
Yeah, and it was snowing, and
Yeah.
and it was one of those things where I was like, yeah, it's okay. It's this premiere. I want to see this movie. It's gonna be worth it. And then on the way home, I was like, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it.
But Emily, you were among those critics because the first 2-3 days, critics are rushing to these early screenings.
Why the first days? Why not?
well, because it's the premiere, so
because
like
you-
the cast is there.
Because
the
you're
director.
one of the elite
Yes.
who are the first to put their mini reviews on Twitter. That, as a critic, is the way to get noticed. Because then everyone is looking for, let's say the pod generation, and they look it up, and it's like,
yeah, I had a lot of
Emily's review
views
would
of
show
that.
up, and she get a lot more likes than she normally does because she's one of the first to say.
Like retweets.
Yeah.
Especially by like, it's so funny because it's always these fans of whoever the actress is. So
Yes.
there was like all these Amelia Clark like fan accounts that were
Yes.
just like retweeting me like crazy.
Of course it
Like,
was.
okay, yeah.
It's like when I got a picture with Lindsay Sterling and all these Lindsay Sterling accounts started sharing it.
You mean your account?
Yeah, all my 7 Lindsay Sterling fan accounts.
Yeah.
But it is funny because there is the festival goggles. And I will say this, Sundance has it's a special flair where, of course, you're going to see this movie 6 months early, or sometimes the movies never come out. So
Or a year. Yeah.
there is something special about it. But sometimes when a movie is great, man, it's great, and you want to tell everyone. But sometimes when a movie is just, a critic is like, oh, this is okay, it's really not good, or for anyone, really. But critics will always say something positive.
It's true.
Online.
But
They'll always.
But let's bring it back here real quick, because the question at hand was, on average, you said, Kent, you watched about 15, 20.
yeah.
And then, Emily, you're about 20. Your record is 25 before. So how
Yeah.
many movies did you guys watch this year?
27 for me.
30.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
how many days?
10.
I guess you
Wow.
did 10, right?
Yeah.
For me, it's a solid week. So
I started the Thursday and then
Yeah.
I ended Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Wow.
I think I did it wrong, and next year I will do much better. And Emily, correct me if you would do anything differently, but I did most of mine online because ever since the pandemic hit, they released the festival online. So you can stream it. And I was like, great, this is so convenient. I don't have to drive and pay $30 for parking and wait an hour for a screening, and this is great. The problem is, you got to throw your phone to the side of the room and just focus. And it's difficult. at
Sometimes
times.
you can't. Sometimes
Right?
you have to have that phone.
And so when you burn through 5 movies in a day, and I'm taking notes as I'm going, like, do not forget about this one, or pay attention to the subtitles, it gets a little difficult. And I think I would space it out more next year by going to Park City or Salt Lake in the middle of my viewings.
And maybe watch less.
That makes sense.
We're trying to think of what the magic number is.
You limit yourself a bit.
I think the problem is we don't want to miss anything great.
It's a numbers game, and there and you have to like go through a lot of really duds to
That's what I
find
was
the
going to say.
really
But
great
you
ones.
say it's a numbers game, but on average, once again, good to bad ratio.
Well, like last
For
year,
every 10 movies
Okay.
you watch, how many are good, how many are bad?
There's one great in there and one good.
well,
And the rest are bad?
Yeah.
So I saw 30 this year, and there were 10 that I really
Okay,
liked.
this year was an exception.
1/3 of the
This was a
movies.
good-
is
this was a good
I actually rated things instead of grades. This year I did tiers because usually my grades change
I
throughout the
noticed
year.
that. That's copyrighted by BaconBit.
Yeah, I know.
Sue you.
I kind of did that for all the fans. Like, you're going to sue me?
Yeah, I don't know how that works, but,
But I was thinking, I'm like, if this is like a B+ in Sundance, this could just be a B later down at the end of the year. So I'm going to give it a tier 1. And so I was able to kind of space it out that way. And there were far more tier 1 movies this year than the previous maybe 2 years.
So for comparison, last year I saw 23, and there was probably only like 5 good ones.
so this was a good year
Yeah,
for
so
Sundance.
this was a good year.
Okay,
I mean, do you want a few examples of movies that
Let's jump
people
right into
should
the
look
reviews
out for?
here.
Okay.
Okay.
What was our favorite, Emily?
Well,
Is it
we
our
disagreed.
favorite?
I know
We
it-
disagreed.
Wait, what's your favorite?
Mine was Past Lives. Yours
Oh.
was Flora and Son.
You went deep on this one. Okay, tell everyone about Past Lives real quick.
So Past Lives is this story of her woman. I don't know. I'm not going to use their names, okay? Because I can't think of all the characters'
Sure.
names right now. Like I know hers was Nora, but I can't remember Hae Sung.
Yeah, actually, you got it.
Okay. So they're childhood sweethearts in Korea, South Korea, and you can tell they have this little budding romance. They're 12 years old, and her family just unexpectedly immigrates to Canada, and so you see their like kind of blossoming relationship, and then with it, like a title card just shows like 12 years pass, and they're now like in their 20s.
Yeah. And it's the time where you start looking people up on Facebook.
It's the time of Facebook.
Yeah.
okay.
So they reconnect and they start this kind of like online, and you just feel this chemistry between these
All
two.
virtual,
Yeah, and it's just they're only Skyping.
but it's magical. Star-crossed lovers even.
Yes, it's like definitely. It,
Yeah.
it
This is
feels
a
like
Korean film.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's
Taking
also
place
though,
in New York mostly.
Yeah, but she speaks English though, so like she'll speak English to other characters. So the Korean it's just between them.
Okay.
So like everyone else in the movie, she'll speak English too. So it's like not full.
Like Kent and I. When Kent and I are off the air, we speak nothing but Korean to each other.
It's true.
Yeah. But anyway, so then it basically it catches up with these characters at 3 points in their lives, and you kind of like, you know, see this romance from when they're children in their 20s.
There's one that happens before sunrise. And
Yeah, it's like the
Truly,
Before
it
trilogy,
feels like
but
that.
in a movie.
Oh, really?
Like
Yeah.
it is.
So it's gonna bore me.
No, it's less. Well,
I love that trilogy.
I love that trilogy.
I
But,
know you
but,
both do.
But that one is more about the intellectual conversation between the two. This one's more like this unspoken connection that the two have
and
that
decisions
they have always had.
that lead to sadness
Okay.
and
Yeah.
longing.
Yeah.
Man, this movie hurt.
You
know me, I like long distance relationships. I was
Yeah.
like, this is too close.
You opened up your mutual to Korea, didn't you?
After this, I did. But no, it is absolutely fantastic. It will probably come out, and I don't know if it's bought yet.
A24 bought it.
Oh.
And so I think
Oh, so it's creepy.
Emily and I both saw, because we saw this one in Salt Lake, we saw the A24 title card, and we both went, yes.
and I was like,
So my favorite was Flora and Son, and this is no shocker. I mean,
This
I
is
would have
spin-off
been...
of Sleeping Beauty, right?
Yeah, precisely. This is from John Carney, who did Once, Begin Again, and Sing Street.
Oh, I know Sing Street.
So these are all
Yes.
Sundance movies.
Yes.
And they just kind of give them a chance to go, hey, you want to premiere your movie here before it's bought? And it has been bought by Apple TV, so this one will come out a couple
probably in the
months maybe.
summer, maybe, yeah.
Yeah. And this one, Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in it, but he's not the main star. It's actually Bono's daughter, Eve Newsom. She's the star.
I think it's
Why do I know that
Hewsome.
name?
Is it Hewsome? Eve Hewsome.
Yeah.
And she plays this single mother who battles with her 14-year-old punk son. And
she's pretty.
She's pretty.
Yeah,
she is
she's
so
lovely.
funny in
Yeah,
this
she's
movie.
really funny. She's this little Spitfire
Yeah.
Irish like woman that just is so funny.
And it is the kind of comedy that you're used to in John Carney movies. With
It's a
music
little more
as well.
crass though.
Yeah. Way more than Sing Street.
She had a mouth on her.
Yeah, because she's like this working collar mom that
Yeah.
she just says whatever. And honestly,
Her kid's a punk, too,
I
so yeah,
wanted
they're
subtitles in this one because it's very
Yeah.
Irish.
Like
And
Brad
Kent
Pitt.
got to
Yes.
see this
Irish.
one. Kent got to see this one twice, so he was able to kind of make
Yeah.
peace
Wait, whoa,
with
whoa,
things.
whoa. You're setting a record number of watching movies, and you're
So I
watching
guess
some movies
I
twice?
saw 28 because I saw that one twice.
Why would you watch it twice?
I watched this
You've
one.
got so many movies to watch.
They have Sundance has this program where they give out locals passes for free, and sometimes it's at the end of the festival, sometimes it's during summer, and they say, "Hey, if you're local, come to this movie."
Free.
I had already bought a ticket to this movie for the next night, and I'm like, I'm going to go for free. So I went for free, and I'm like, well, I already bought a ticket, so I'm going to see this movie I love again, and I loved it even more.
That's actually a testament to how good it may be.
Yeah, but the experience of going to the theater once again, because I kind of forgot, is pretty magical.
Yeah.
Because even though you're sitting in uncomfortable seats,
Yes.
you were there with people,
with crappy popcorn.
yes, who are clapping for the movie there. It's a sold-out crowd.
There's an energy.
There is an energy to it, and new excitement. There are some movies that we talk about that are so bad that people walk out, whether it's
Yeah.
critics or people that just have to go to another movie, or the movie is that offensive.
I was going to ask, by the way, because this is something that just, for me, as my point of view here,
Yeah.
content-wise, past lives, what would the MPA give that? Because
When I
that's
looked
the thing
it
about
up on
Sundance,
IMDb,
they're not rated. So.
there was a couple F words, but on IMDb it says it's PG-13.
It's PG-13.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And
But
then-
Flora and Son will be R because of
Yes.
the language.
Okay.
There was.
Yeah, you'll have to watch that one edited.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do it for you.
Thanks, Emily.
But I wish I could edit in another ending though.
For Flora and Son?
Another act.
She's writing fan fiction to Sundance movies now.
Yeah, to me, that movie just, I need to see it again to make peace with it because I just really was literally not expecting the ending. I was just like, wait, it's over? Like, what? I
Yeah.
thought there was still another 20 minutes left. Like, it really was kind of like
Right.
shocking to me that I was like, I was just, you know, because like in Sing Street, you kind of felt, you're like, they're getting on that boat and it's just like leading, you're like, okay, yeah, we're going to the end. And then this was like, wait, what? Like, I really thought that there was like...
She was
another
visibly
15
upset.
I was.
Visibly upset?
I really
She's
was like
throwing
looking
things and
around.
stuff?
So Sundance has a category of films because they break them down into categories. Some are like potential for award winners. Some are just, hey, this was shown at another festival, we're showing it here. The one that Emily and I look forward to most, because that's where we've seen The Witch and you saw The Witch at Sundance
Yes.
and Hereditary. It's called Midnight.
It's not mid. Well, sometimes the last couple of years.
The midnight category, and that's all the really quirky movies, strange comedies, but mostly horror films.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought those were all horror, but they got comedies in there too?
Yeah.
The last couple of years, they've kind of like roped comedies in, and maybe it was supposed to be like that all along, but there was a few years where it was just horror.
So they're like
and
the
we loved
Academy
that.
just shoving all the comedy and horror
Yeah.
somewhere
Yes,
pretty much people
yes,
won't see it.
yeah.
So it's been a few years since we've seen anything really substantial.
We liked Fresh last year, but
We liked it.
we liked it. We didn't. It wasn't one to be like
Wasn't
raving.
Fresh the one with
Sebastian Stan.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever see
Canada
that?
one?
I told him all about it, though.
Yeah.
We actually had a winner this year. It was one of the best movies at the festival, and
Yeah.
it's called Talk to Me. Talk to Me. And it's a horror film that will be huge this year.
That's the one with the hand.
Yep.
Yes.
So imagine, Joel, you're at a party, right? Joel, listener, whatever. Just visualize this. You're at a party.
Zach, you can listen too.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Zach, how's it going?
Hi.
We strap you to a chair. Like you were tied up, and we say...
So it's like last Friday.
pretty much. And there's all of us watching you with our phones and everything like that. This is a modern day teen horror film. And we say, okay, here's this weird ceramic hand. And it's like this embalmed hand.
You
But it
say
looks
hand,
like,
but the image looks like a forearm and
yeah, it's a
hand.
forearm
Yeah,
and a
yeah,
hand.
yeah.
And it's in this weird handshake position. And then you sitting in the chair, you have your hand free. You need to shake it and you need to say, talk to me. And when you do, no one else can see this. A ghastly spirit will sit right across from you. And just
But no
kinda,
one else can see it, but the
no one
person
else can
shaking
see
the
it.
hand.
So basically you go, oh my goodness. And you
But then-
get scared. And then you say, I invite you in.
Yeah.
And then
Why
it
would you say that?
It possesses
because it gives you a thrill.
It's basically a drug enhanced party.
It's this adrenaline rush that
So
they
you,
like.
you speak as the spirit, and that's why you're tied up, so they can't harm you at all.
Yeah.
And then you release the hand to let it go.
You have to do
Obviously-
it within a certain amount of time or else.
Obviously,
Yeah.
things go poorly, and that is the kind of movie this is. It's so much fun.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It really was like such an exciting horror movie. Like I said, the last couple of years have been a little bit lacking, but this one really got us excited.
Yeah.
And the A24 bought this one as well. And there's kind of a lot of talk, at least online, that people really want this to be like the next big franchise because there's
Yeah.
so many possibilities that you could do with this concept.
And sure, that would probably take the energy out of it,
well,
water
yeah.
it down a bit, but still.
There's so
But
much
it was
more to
good.
explore.
You guys are saying it's
oh,
solid.
we
Great.
loved it. It was so much fun. It's not like and you never watched Hereditary, right?
No, I watched clips and read the story. I know everything.
You
that
felt a little
happened.
sick to your
But,
stomach.
Yeah,
like-
I got to the point where I'm like icky.
So
Yeah.
what about Babadook? Did you watch
I
that
watched
one?
Babadook, yeah.
Okay, so it's not like one of those where it's
Where you wanna slap the
elevated
kid?
horror. No, well, there was one like that,
You
but
mean like artsy horror, slow burns?
yeah,
slow burn
well,
stuff.
where there's like this metaphor behind it. There's not more to this story. It's just fun. Like
Good.
it's just a fun horror
Good.
movie.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, so I mean that
We don't
might,
all have to try to be deep. It
well, and
follows.
yeah, exactly. So it's just a great concept, but it's executed so well, and the ghosts, the makeup
Mm-hmm.
is so effective on all of them. They are like
So it's not the same ghost each
terrifying.
time.
Nope.
No, it's different ones, and so that's why there's so
Like
much
for example,
potential.
one of their parents is dead, and they were trying to reach their parent. But you shouldn't really do that.
Yeah,
So
but
like one is a princess, one has a cage on their head, one
Yeah,
is.
actually.
it's kind of
there's
like the
13
Sixth
of
Sense,
them.
honestly, where like they're just type of ghosts like that, where you
Okay.
like see like they clearly have some story, like what's going on with them, but the makeup of all of them
Yeah.
is so effective and so creepy, and there were just scenes that really was getting me. I was like
Yeah.
but it's
Good.
so that one is one that we're really super excited for people to see when that
Truly.
comes out.
And then there are a lot in the middle. Yeah. Zach?
I just want to chime in real quick and just say how adorable it is that you two are speaking like a hive mind right now. Like everything is, we liked it, didn't we? Go. Should we be bad and should we watch another movie? Let's be bad.
Well, there are times where we disagree, though. I'm trying to think
All
of movies.
both of
Yeah,
them?
can you guys think of a movie that one of you liked and one of you
Okay,
did not
I
like?
liked a movie called Magazine Dreams more than Emily.
Well, yeah,
This is Jonathan Majors.
I'm
This
not,
is-
I'm not talking, liked more than I'm talking. Is there one that like one of you totally liked and one of you totally did not like?
I think if anything, there would be one that I was like, you should watch this one, and he's like, no.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Like there was a couple like that.
But tell me about
where-
Magazine Dreams. You mentioned that
Well,
one.
Magazine Dreams, I just liked a little bit more. This is Jonathan Majors, who's going to be in Creed 3 and Ant-Man. And he plays this guy, this bodybuilder who has some mental illness. And it's kind of his Nightcrawler. This is just a character study.
We should clarify Nightcrawler, the movie starring
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal, and not the blue.
Not the
mutant.
Alan Cumming.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, he has to see where he teleports, but when he does teleport, watch out.
Yeah.
But he's
Nightcrawler's
very
a dark-
menacing.
yeah.
It is that kind of movie.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit too long. Like I thought, hey, with a slightly a better editor. I hate to say that because
No,
they
it
are
definitely
first-time
needed.
filmmakers.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest problem with it is we thought. No, just kidding. It needed an auteur, like you said, right?
Yeah.
That like it needed someone who really just drove the story forward. It just felt repetitive a bit, but the performance was amazing.
I mean, and let's be honest. When you and I disagree, it's slight disagreement.
I mean, he loved Flora and Son. I was mad about the ending about it. So
Yeah.
that was kind of something.
All right, Emily, are there any like worst movies of the festival you want to talk about?
Yeah. Well, that's one I guess you could say we disagreed on, but mostly because I fell asleep, which was called Divinity.
Oh, yeah.
It was this one felt like Eraserhead. I feel like you would
Blah.
think.
You would hate it.
Where it was black and white and just totally
Steven Dorff is in it,
weird.
though.
Are they making Divinity the candy?
Close, but it's like this like perfume potion that
And
gives
it
you like
makes you immortal.
yeah, more immortal.
Doesn't have anything to do with the story, but it does.
They kind of like at the very I woke up for like a moment where they were kind of explaining that, and then I woke up for like this claymation fight.
What?
A giant.
Sure that wasn't a dream, Emily?
no.
I watched this one at 3:30 in the
so.
morning. This
Why?
giant bulked up Steven Dorff was in claymation, and this little ninja guy's fighting him. And it's not great claymation either. But they're like destroying each other, and I'm like, where did this come from? Like, it's almost like you blink, and you're like, did I rest my eyes for 5 minutes, and this is what's happening? But
Well, so what we're learning is you guys are sleeping through movies and watching them late
That was-
in the night.
no, I
He
just
stayed
feels
up-
like
he
it.
stayed
and
up
then you
for it.
review them the next day, being like,
No,
"Wah."
I
It
didn't
feels
review that
like
one
it.
because I didn't feel like I could, but
You're like, man, that
He
had a
did.
lot of snoring in it. Oh wait, that was me.
That was me.
I just that was one of the points in the festival where I had just really overdone it, and I'm like, okay, I don't care, just take me sleep. I don't care.
Yeah.
I just need to sleep.
Yeah, truly. What was the worst one
The
for you, Emily?
worst one is called Bad Behavior, and it is with Jennifer Connelly.
Rude.
Oh no.
I know.
I like Jennifer
I
Connelly.
do too, and so that's why I wanted to see it. And this is the thing, as we always say, is Sundance is kind of sold off of one image and a brief description. And so you go through the program beforehand and you look and see what's there. And the picture of Jennifer Connelly, she has like tears in her eyes, and it looks so serious. And I'm like, oh, this one's going to be so good. She's bringing it. You
Yeah,
can
it's
tell
like-
it's from the picture.
Yeah, you can tell because she's like feeling emotions like it's a requiem or
Yes,
like a dream
for a
or something.
dream.
Yeah.
No, but it was so... I can't even tell you.
But what makes it bad? Like certain things will make a movie
Okay.
bad. Like bad acting, I don't think would apply here because it's Jennifer
No,
Connelly,
it's not.
right?
It's because it's aimless and pointless. And
Yeah.
what is happening? Why does this movie exist? This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
And I think a lot of people listening, they think of Sundance movies as the artsy fartsy stuff.
Like
And
that,
They're
there's
like,
aimless,
no-
pointless,
there's-
and
there's no
marshmallow
art to it.
And
animation fights.
This is the movie, yeah, right. This is the movie that they should think about because truly, it feels like it was all improv on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
They're just
I hate
creating
improv.
scenes,
Boo.
but not for comedy's sake. They're like, we're gonna act like babies in this scene.
Yeah, there's this scene where she's like, so she goes to this spiritual retreat because she is a child actress grown up.
Okay.
And she has issues.
Which is true.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know the
she,
issues, but
she
yeah.
has issues. So she goes to this spiritual camp thing by like Ben Winshaw. And
The
he's
voice
just-
of Paddington?
Yes. And he's just like, there's this one, and there's this model there that is like, I don't want to get old. And Jennifer Connelly takes offense at that since she is an old.
And old, you know.
Throwing back to
Yeah,
your
exactly.
Yeah.
old
Oh, yeah.
seasons. But like, so she takes offense at it, and then they have this stupid workshop where Jennifer Connelly has to pretend to be her baby. And she's like just holding her in a blanket, and just like, and Jennifer Connelly starts bursting out into tears. And I was just like,
See,
what
you're
is this
saying actually
stupid-
sounds like a plot, though, Emily, because when you're watching this
Yeah, I was gonna say,
2-hour
what is
movie,
the plot synopsis, though?
yeah, the plot synopsis. I mean, it actually makes
It's actually really funny reading it on Sundance's site because they make it sound like this really great movie. And it
Lucy,
is-
a former child actress, seeks enlightenment at a retreat led by spiritual leader Elon, while she also navigates the turbulent relationship with her stunt performer daughter Dylan.
Can you agree this is terrible?
Oh, it's absolutely terrible. And that's the risk, right? When people buy tickets to Sundance, they're about $25, and they are taking a risk because you want to buy your tickets fast before they're sold out. So it is just kind of a crapshoot every single time. Yeah, there may be some hype behind certain movies that may have already been bought, but you know, to going in, that $25 is going towards a new experience rather than a great movie. And hopefully you're lucky.
yeah.
That's kind of the Sundance way.
Well, and it's so interesting because some of these are like first-time writer directors, like
I mean, that's the whole point of Sundance. It's supposed to be this independent, never made a film before kind of
yeah,
people.
and sometimes it's great. Like Past Lives was a first time, and which was my number one. And the other one that I want to give a quick shout out to was Fair Play. That was also, which is really great. You can give a quick if you want to or not, but that one was also a debut feature. So it's really impressive when people can come out of the gate like you don't know anything about this filmmaker.
Yeah, does that mean they peaked then?
Maybe sometimes.
Sometimes, as we've discussed on other shows.
We have, yeah.
Joel, Zach, I cried Twice.
No, you didn't.
Was it when you were watching one of those movies at 3 a.m. and like, I just
Yeah,
want
you're
to
just-
sleep. I just want
You're
to
like,
sleep.
oh, I'm out of Mountain Dew and I have to watch another one.
You already mentioned you cried at Past Lives.
No, Past
he
Lives, I didn't
didn't.
cry. I just walked out going, wow.
Oh.
Like, it got me. 2 years ago, I cried at Coda twice during that movie.
I did cry during Coda
It's real
too.
good.
So
That's
this
a real
one,
good
there's a movie called Radical, and this is an inspirational...
Radical?
Radical.
With
I've seen that with the bike
teacher.
racing, the BMX bikes.
It's rad.
Yeah.
This one is the longer version. It's Radical, the Snyder Cut version.
Okay.
It has the teacher from Coda in it though.
The music teacher.
Oh, yeah.
And he's teaching at this impoverished school down in Mexico. And it's an inspirational teacher story that we've seen before. But somehow, like the charisma of this guy, it's Eugenio Derbez. He is so amazing in this movie.
Is it English language or is it in Spanish?
It's Spanish.
It was Spanish. It was early on in the festival. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to take it. I think.
I don't know. It was so
It's really
was so
good.
delightful and then heartbreaking. It got me.
Yeah.
And then my other movie was still a Michael J. Fox movie.
Oh, yeah, the documentary.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is like a weird documentary because it's interviews with Michael J. Fox today, and he's going through his life and career. But there's like a back of an actor that looks like young Michael J. Fox, going into like meetings and stuff like that, and different movie sets and stuff like that. So it's played kind of like a movie. But the way the story is told is amazing, and Michael J. Fox, like it brings a new appreciation for what he's gone through and how funny he still is,
Yeah.
even throughout it all. And
Yeah.
that one by the end got me
Because he was diagnosed with Parkinson's a while, years ago.
1990.
Oh wow,
And
that's
it was that
Yeah,
early?
he didn't tell everyone until about 99.
Yeah, 'cause I
Oh,
remember. But
okay.
yeah, he's been very open about it. He's talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
He's kind of been a champion for finding a cure.
Yes.
And so I think he's earned a lot of respect these last
Yeah.
few decades because of his fight.
It's a must see. This one will be on Apple TV probably this summer.
Oh yeah, content wise.
Yes.
What are we looking at with the last couple we talked about? The Bad Behavior, Fair Play, and Radical.
Oh, well, don't watch Bad Behavior.
Yeah, I can't even remember.
Fair Play, rated R.
yeah,
Very.
that one will be R, and it will be on Netflix. Netflix bought that one.
Radical will be PG-13 because there's
I think
violence.
I think PG-13.
And then
Talk
still-
to me. That one is hard because I don't remember there being swear words, but maybe the gore might push it. But I think it could be PG-13. Could be
I trust
R.
you because if Ken said there's no swear words, there's
So-
at least 7.
so still, and I want to say it's going to be PG-13 because he references the times when he partied.
Okay.
You know, those kind of parties, but it doesn't show anything.
Yeah.
It's just him referencing like, yeah, I was dumb. I was really dumb going to these parties.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking PG-13 for
And
references.
I think Divinity probably R.
Oh, for
Maybe
sure.
more.
No, for sure.
That one was awful.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of, Joel, the ones I'd recommend to you.
Polite
Zach.
Society. Do you think he'd like that?
I
Oh.
do like being polite, and I like society.
Polite Society is
It's kind of like a Scott Pilgrim versus the World a little bit, but Bollywood.
Oh, I watched the trailer
Sisters.
for that one.
Yeah.
Bollywood Kung Fu.
Yeah. It was good then because I saw the trailer and I went, you didn't tell me anything about what the story is.
You don't really need
You
to
don't.
know.
The story goes off the rails, but it's still fun.
Okay.
Yeah, but watch that one. You'll like it. Out of 27 movies, and 28 if you count Flora and Son, I think I'm at like a 28-29% quality rate.
Which is a high rate for Sundance.
Yes.
I have a couple for Joel for the family friendly because
Okay.
I watched the two kids
Yes, you
section
did.
movies. You didn't, but there's one called it's a Utah filmmaker called Aliens Abducted My Parents and Now I Feel Kind of Left Out, which has
That's the whole title?
yes, it has Will Forte, Will Forte. I don't know how to pronounce
Yeah, it's
his name.
Forte.
Okay, and Elizabeth Mitchell. They're like, and then
Why do I know
Jacob-
Elizabeth Mitchell? Who's she?
Lost Fame.
yeah, and then the
Yeah.
wife
Yeah.
in Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's true.
And Jacob Tremblay's sister was the lead.
Is that how she's cast?
Yeah.
And Jacob Tremblay's sister.
So that one was I thought it was really cute, but they kind of like have the ending's a little bit goofy, but it was really a sweet movie and totally PG. Honestly,
Okay.
It was really good. And then I saw The Amazing Maurice, which was my daughter's very first Sundance screening, and
Aw.
it felt like any other DreamWorks movie, and I was bored.
Okay.
But it
Yeah.
was about a cat, an animated cat, so I was excited. But it kind of was false advertising, honestly, because it was more about these rats, and I'm like, I don't.
You were
care about-
mad because
Yeah, I
you
was
know
like,
cats
I
so
don't
here
much.
for a cat
Ratatouille
movie?
already exists, okay?
Yeah.
I want a cat movie. So anyway,
Anyway, so that's Sundance 2023.
in a nutshell.
One of the better years
Yeah.
I've experienced in
But
the past
is it better
11 years.
because of the quality of movies, or is it better because you watch movies and therefore had a larger sample to pull from?
It's the game of numbers. Although I think if we stopped watching movies 3 days in, I think we would have seen the best movies. And then the final two we saw were Flora and Son and Past Lives.
Well-
So we ended really well. So we
I-
started well and ended well.
If I look at because I did it before the festival of my
Ones you really wanted to see,
anticipated.
yeah.
And most of the ones on here, there wasn't that many that were worse than what were on my list, you know? There was a couple letdowns that were on my list, but for the most part, the horror, so I wanted Run Rabbit Run to be good and Birth and Rebirth, and then Infinity Pool I was a little. So there was maybe 3, but then the rest were all pretty good. So I do think it was a better year, and it was kind of the ones that I most wanted to see ended up being good. And so, yeah, this bigger pool helped, but I think the ones we would have prioritized were good anyway.
Yeah,
I do want to ask, so just use your, put on your foresight goggles, if you will, look into your crystal balls, whatever you may say. What is going to be the biggest movie coming out of this year of Sundance? What is going to be the biggest hit, either with critics, like the Academy Award winning Coda, which just won last year.
Which I never would have, I mean, out of that
we knew
year,
it was great.
No, we knew it was great, but we didn't know it was going to win Best Picture, and we thought that year Mass was going to, which I don't know if you've ever seen that. You should. It's really good.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so that was a shock though, because I was like, oh, that one's gonna be an Academy Awards player, and it nothing.
The biggest deal will be Magazine Dreams. Because Jonathan Majors will have so much
for
hype.
the acting.
For the acting, he will be nominated.
I don't
probably
think
next
the film's
year.
gonna go.
I don't know. For what he does in the movie, I think the film will be elevated as well.
Okay.
My hope is Past Lives, but it could kind of honestly go either way. I've learned enough.
Is there going to be an audience hit, like a Napoleon Dynamite kind of sleeper hit?
I think Talk to Me will be the financial hit.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
the horror movie.
I think so. I think that could really, like we said, if they play their cards right, they could make this like a Saw franchise where they're just making a bunch of
when
these.
the first 2 were awesome. And the rest
well, I mean, I mean,
which was
numbers
also a Sundance
wise,
movie.
not quality wise.
Yeah,
but yeah.
And so, I mean, obviously, we've talked a little bit about the movies here, but you guys do have places where people can read your full reviews, right?
Yeah, Emily?
Yeah,
Where can people find you?
moviesandmayhem.com. I'm back to .com.
You're .com now?
Yes.
What was it before?
It was a .au. It's an Australian website, right?
So years ago, I started out as .com, and then one year I just didn't renew the rights and lost it, and then it became a Japanese underwear site.
Wow. I think that was a Sundance movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was actually.
Japanese underwear site?
Great family movie.
Yeah. But then we checked and it was back again, so we took it back.
So you were .net.
Yeah, I was .net for a couple of years, but I'm back to being .com.
And once again, it's movies mayhem.
Yeah, movies
like salt
yes,
pepper.
Movies mayhem, salt and pepper. Yeah.
Obligatory. It's .com.
It's .com. Yeah. And then mine's ShowtimeShowdown.com.
Wow.
Emily does reviews for pretty much every movie or every other movie on its own.
Yeah. I did a recap every single day of every single movie that I saw. So it was, it was a lot.
Emily is a Sundance hype girl. I'm like, yeah, I saw 15 movies. Let's talk about them real quick.
Yeah.
So
that's why I'm here. I'm just a
exactly.
hype girl.
Well, thank you, Emily.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for being here, Emily. Thanks for giving us a little taste of what Sundance is like so we don't have to go and watch all these movies.
I do.
Any other final thoughts before we head out?
Yeah, we'll see you about next year. You never know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we hope so.
Sundance.
We strap you to a chair.
So it's like last Friday.
Yeah.